Hi everybody, it's me, Albatross. Welcome to my first reading of the Gnostic Text. But before I start, I really wanted to say that I understand that right now it is a sensitive time for religious institutions, people who belong and go to church and stuff like that. And I just wanted to take a moment to remind everybody that this is not the first time that this information has been shared, and particularly, by people like Dr. Sala, Elena Danan. I mean, yes, it's the first that we're in a long time that this information has been talked about. But Jesus himself actually tried to bring this information first 2,000 years ago. And there's evidence of that all through these Gnostic texts. So this is what I've decided to do. This is the first one. I'm going to read them one by one. I don't know exactly which ones are supposed to be read first or in what order. So I just picked one randomly. The Testimony of Truth. We'll start there. And I read the first couple paragraphs, but other than that, I haven't read anything else of it. So if my reactions seem extreme, it's because I'm reading in real time. So, okay. Without any further ado, here we go. And just so you know, that not every, in these texts, there's a lot of stuff missing because the texts were badly damaged when they were found. And unfortunately, these are probably the only copies ever. So, we're just going to have to make do with what we've got. I mean, it looks like in this text, most of it's here, but there are some stuff missing. Okay. I mean, it was 2,000 years, and I think they were all on, papyrus scrolls. It's not like they were written on stone. But it doesn't matter, because it gives us quite a bit of information. Okay. So here we go. The Testimony of Truth. I don't know who the author is. But it is translated by, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Soren Giverson and Berger A. Pearson. I will speak to those who know to hear, not with the ears of the body, but with the ears of the mind. For many have sought after the truth, and have not been able to find it, because there has taken hold of them the old leaven of the Pharisees and the scribes of the law. And the leaven is the errant desire of the angels and the demons and the stars. As for the Pharisees and the scribes, it is they who belong to the archons, who have authority over them. All right, pause. So I just want to give a little context, because leaven is another word for yeast. And with the metaphor being used in this paragraph, when they say the old leaven of the Pharisees, what they're saying is it's like the information the Pharisees have given the people has become kind of like leaven, where it's spread and it's transformed what they think that they know about everything. So that's kind of the example he's given. And what he's saying is that this is why that they're not able to understand in their heads what this truth is because it's the way the Pharisees intended it. They've just made the environment and atmosphere in such a way where you don't even understand what's being said. I mean, it's brilliant. It's the same method that if you guys go back and look at the Willie Lynch letter video I did, I mean, it's odd how much that letter keeps coming up over and over and over again. It's like the same method they use all through history. You know what I mean? To create a narrative, to keep people from questioning things. You know what I mean? You just change up the words and everything. But anyways, not to get off on a tangent. And archon, the word archon, from my understanding in the Gnostic text, when they're talking about archons, Archon, those are like the gatekeepers, I believe, or like the guards. They're the people in charge of whatever realm it is, from my understanding. I don't know if there's one of them at each place or multiple of them at each place. I don't know. But there's like 12 or 13 of these dimensions in these Gnostic texts. So that's a little background information. I know it gets confusing because they bring those things up a lot, so it's important to know. Okay, Now we'll move on to the second paragraph. For no one who is under the law, the law, whenever they talk about the law here, they're talking about the law of Moses. I'm pretty sure. Okay. For no one who is under the law will be able to look up to the truth, for they will not be able to serve two masters. In other words, if you're under the law, believe in the law, follow the law of Moses, you won't even be able to understand the truth. Okay. For the defilement of the law is manifest, but undefilement belongs to the light. The law commands one to take a husband or to take a wife and to beget, to multiply like the sand of the sea. But passion, which is a delight to them, constrains the souls of those who are begotten in this place. Those who defile and those who are defiled, in order that the law might be fulfilled through them. And they show that they are assisting the world, and they turn away from the light, who are unable to pass by the arcane of the darkness until they pay the last penny. Okay, I'm going to pause there because if I'm understanding and reading this correctly, what they're saying is, if you defile yourself in order to follow this law, these laws, that you're not learning anything. You're not doing what you think you're doing. Like, you're not getting anywhere closer to evolving to the next dimension. And the arcane will keep you here, and you'll just be reincarnated into the next body. Because the Gnostic texts talk quite a bit about reincarnation. It's a thing in these texts. Sorry, my chair's so squeaky. Okay. So, third paragraph. But the Son of Man came forth from imperishability, being alien to defilement. He came to the world by the Jordan River, and immediately the Jordan turned back. And John bore witness to the descent of Jesus, for it is he who saw the power which came down upon the Jordan River. For he knew that the dominion of carnal procreation had come to an end. The Jordan River is the power of the body, that is, the senses of the pleasures. The water of the Jordan is the desire for sexual intercourse. John is the arcane of the womb. That metaphor is a little confusing to me. So I'm just going to move past that. You can dissect that one on your own. I get a little confused about that paragraph. Okay. Anyway, paragraph 4. And this is what the Son of Man reveals to us. It is fitting for you to receive the word of the truth, if one will receive it perfectly. But as for one who is in ignorance, it is difficult for him to diminish his works of darkness which he has done. Those who have known imperishability, however, have been able to struggle against passions, ... missing text. Oh yeah, just so you know, anytime I say ... that means that there's missing words or lines. I have said to you, do not build nor gather for yourselves in the place where the brigands break open, but bring forth fruit to the Father. In other words, don't gather and keep all your stuff where a bunch of thieves are. Is my understanding of that. Okay. Paragraph 5. The foolish. And then they go on to define who the foolish are. Foolish. Thinking in their heart that if they confess, we are Christians in word only, but not with power, while giving themselves over to ignorance, to a human death, not knowing where they are going, nor who Christ is, thinking that they will live when they are really in error. They hasten towards the principalities and the authorities. They fall into their clutches because of the ignorance that is in them. For if only words which bear testimony were effecting true salvation, the whole world would endure this thing and would be saved. But as it is in this way that they drew error into themselves. Meaning they were ignorant. They drew ignorance into themselves. And then there's 3 lines that are missing. ... They do not know that they will destroy themselves. If the Father were to desire human sacrifice, he would become vainglorious. I didn't know what the word vainglorious meant, and I looked it up, and apparently it's someone who's like overly proud of themselves. Yeah, I didn't know vainglorious was a word, but okay. Next paragraph. For the Son of Man clothed himself with their first fruits. He went down to Hades and performed many mighty works. He raised the dead therein, and the world rulers of darkness became envious of him, for they did not find sin in him. But he also destroyed their works from among men, so that the lame, the blind, the paralytic, the dumb, and the demon-possessed were granted healing. Oh my gosh, pause. Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? Let me read it one more time. The world rulers of darkness became envious of him, for they did not find sin in him. He also destroyed their works from among men. Who? The world rulers of darkness. Jesus destroyed their works from among men, so that the lame, the blind, the paralytic, the dumb, and the demon-possessed were granted healing. So, basically, is he saying that these were not from natural things? I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. Okay. And he walked upon the waters of the sea. For this reason, he destroyed his flesh from ... which he ... and he became ... salvation ... his death. 4 more lines are missing. Everyone ... How many they are? They are blind guides, like the disciples. They boarded the ship at about 30 stadies. I don't know what that is. They saw Jesus walking on the sea. These are empty martyrs, since they bear witness only to themselves, and yet they are sick, and they are not able to raise themselves. But I still can't get over that. That really sounded like that all those things that Jesus did in the New Testament, like, I mean, like he did them, but like it almost sounded like that their ailments didn't have like a natural cause either. That's strange, right? I think that sounds. But anyways, I'm going to continue. Paragraph 7. But when they are perfected with a martyr's death, this is the thought they have within them. If we deliver ourselves over to death for the sake of the name, we will be saved. These matters are not settled in this way, but through the agency of the wandering stars, they say they have completed their futile course. And ... say ... but these ... they have delivered themselves. And then there's 7 more lines. Irrecoverable. Isn't that like, come on, it's like the most important lines are always the ones missing, right? That's so annoying. But they resemble ... them. They do not have the word which gives life. You know what I mean? It always almost sounds like the key to the universe are in these missing lines, and then they're missing. Of course. Okay, paragraph 8. And some say, on the last day we will certainly arise in the resurrection. But they do not know what they are saying. For the last day is when those belonging to Christ ... the earth, oh my God, which is ... when the time was fulfilled, he destroyed their archon of darkness ... souls ... 10 more unrecoverable lines. Like, what the hell? You know what I mean? It sounded like they were going to give us like a different version of the end times. But no, it's all missing. Like 10 lines of it missing. Sorry. I'm reading this in real time now. I'm getting a little frustrated of all these missing lines. Okay. He stood, ... They asked what they have been bound with, and how they might properly release themselves. And they came to know themselves, who they are, or rather, where they are now, and what is the place in which they will rest from their senselessness, arriving at knowledge. These Christ will transfer to the heights, since they have renounced foolishness and have advanced to knowledge. And those who have knowledge, oh, big freaking surprise. There's like 12 lines that are missing there. I'm going to pause for a minute. Because, I think it kind of told us what we really need to know. They were asking how they could properly release themselves from like the cycle of life and death and vice versa, and the tricks that these evil entities play. And Jesus is saying to know themselves. If you come to know yourself, who you are and where you are and where you came from, then they are like above all this. But they got to renounce their foolishness. Ain't that the thing, though? It sounds so simple, right? It sounds so simple. Okay. And, I want to say one more thing. I think this is why the aliens... I thought about this because I was a little frustrated. I was like, why doesn't the alien just come out on TV for, like, the whole world for us all to see and just get it over with? But then I realized something. And it's like... And it's the truth. It's like... When you take one person, or even a couple people, you can reason with those people, and they'll work things out. They won't, like, jump on narratives and things like that. But when you have a whole big giant crowd of people, it's a different story. It's like the mentality's dumbed down. It becomes like that mob mentality. So, I don't know. It's just a thought. Just a thought. Maybe that's why. Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. The great ... resurrection ... He has come to know the Son of Man. That is, he has come to know himself. This is the perfect life. That man know himself by means of the all. Oh my gosh. I'm going to repeat that. That's important. The great ... resurrection ... He has come to know the Son of Man. That is, he has come to know himself. This is the perfect life. That man know himself by means of the all. I like that. Okay. I'm going to continue on. Do not expect, therefore, the carnal resurrection, which is destruction, and they are not stripped of it, the flesh, who err in expecting a resurrection that is empty. They do not know the power of God, nor do they understand the interpretation of the Scriptures, on account of their double-mindedness. The mystery, which the Son of Man spoke about, ... in order that ... destroy ... 2 more lines, irrecoverable. Man who ... book, which is written ... for they have, and 2 more lines, irrecoverable, blessed ... within them, that they dwell before God under the light yoke. Those who do not have the life-giving word in their heart will die. And their thought that they have become manifest to the Son of Man according to the manner of their activity, and their error ... of this sort. They ... as he divides the ... and they do not understand that the Son of Man is coming from him. Oh my gosh, well, I don't know what sense we can make of that, other than that it was important and that most of it was missing. Okay. And I'm sorry it's so annoying, all the missing lines. And if you are sick of me, like, stopping and you want to read it for yourselves, I will have the PDF document link below, and also the link for the website where I've been finding all the other Gnostic texts. I mean, it's got a lot of them. It doesn't have all of them, but it has like the ones that I've been reading. Okay, anywho. But when they have come up to ... sacrifice, they die in a human way, and they deliver themselves. 3 lines irrecoverable, a death, 3 more lines irrecoverable. Those who ... they are many ... each one ... pervert ... gain ... their mind. Those who receive him to themselves with uprightness and power and every knowledge are the ones whom he will transfer to the heights unto life eternal. And it's hard to even take any of that in context with all of that missing. But those who receive him to themselves with ignorance, the pleasures which are defiled prevail over them. It is those people who used to say, God created members for our use, for us to grow in defilement in order that we might enjoy ourselves. And they cause God to participate with them in deeds of this sort, and they are not steadfast upon the earth, nor will they reach heaven, but ... place will ... for ... And then 3 lines irrecoverable, unquenchable ... 3 more lines unrecoverable. Well, that was a little ominous. ... word ... upon the Jordan River. When he came to John at the time he was baptized, the Holy Spirit came down upon him as a dove ... except for ourselves, that he was born of a virgin, and he took flesh. He ... having received power. Were we also begotten from a virginal state, or conceived by the word? Rather, we have been born again by the word. Let us therefore strengthen ourselves as virgins in the ... The males dwell ... the virgin by means of ... in the word ... But the word of ... and the spirit ... 4 more lines irrecoverable, is the father ... for the man, another line irrecoverable. I mean, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't read all of it. I know it's annoying. It's annoying me too. Like Isaiah, who was sawed with a saw, and he became 2. So also the Son of Man divides us by the word of the cross. It divides the day from the night, and the light from the darkness, and the corruptible from the incorruptibility, and it divides the males from the females. But Isaiah is the type of the body. The saw is the word of the Son of Man, which separates us from the error of the angels. Ooh. The error of the angels. So, it is saying that these angels do, in fact, that are governing the world, excuse me, that they do, in fact, have error. Okay. Good to know. So we are talking about some of these, pretenders. Okay. No one knows the God of truth except solely the man who will forsake all of the things of the world, having renounced the whole place, and having grasped the fringe of his garment. He has set himself up as a power. He has subdued desire in every way within himself. He has ... and has turned to him ... having also examined ... in becoming ... the mind. And he ... from his soul ... there ... he has ... a whole line irrecovered. In what way ... the flesh which ... in what way ... out of it, and how many powers does he have, and who is the one who has bound him? Who is the one who will loose him? And what is the light? What is the darkness? Who is the one who has created the earth? Who is God? Who are the angels? What is the soul? What is the spirit? And where is the voice? Who is the one who speaks? Who is the one who hears? Who is the one who gives pain? Who is the one who suffers? And who is it who has begotten the corruptible flesh? What is the governance? Why are some lame, and some blind, and some ... and some ... and some rich, and some poor? Why are some powerless, some brigands? 4 lines irrecoverable. He having ... as he again ... fighting against thoughts of the archons, the gatekeepers, and the powers and the demons, not giving them a place in which to rest. But he struggled against their passions ... He condemned their error. He cleansed his soul from the transgressions which he had committed with an alien hand. He stood up, being upright within himself, because he exists in everyone, and because he has death and life within himself, and he exists in the midst of both of them. And when he had received the power, he turned towards the parts of the right, and he entered into the truth, having forsaken all things pertaining to the left, having been filled with wisdom, with counsel, with understanding, and with insight in eternal power. And he broke open his bonds. Those who had formed the whole place he condemned. But they did not find ... hidden within him. Pause. That was so powerful. This is basically like confirming like everything that like Elena Danan and all of them have, and even Hermes Trismegistus, confirming all of it. Wait, did he come before Jesus? I don't know. I don't know who came first. But it doesn't matter. This was Jesus' message. The Hindus, the Hindu religion, they've been talking about this longer than any of them, right? Or at least what's recorded that we've got. And if they ever let us finish excavating Göbekli Tepe, maybe we can find out a little bit more. But anyway, I'm not even going to go down that road. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it's like, wow. More confirmation. Okay. Next paragraph. And he gave command to himself. He began to know himself and to speak with his mind, which is the father of the truth, concerning the unbegotten eons, and concerning the virgin who brought forth the light. And he thinks about the power which flowed over the whole place, and which takes hold of him. And he is a disciple of his mind, which is male. He began to keep silent within himself, until the day when he should become worthy to be received above. He rejects for himself loquacity and disputations, and he endures the whole place. He bears up under them, and he endures all of the evil things. And he is patient with everyone. He makes himself equal to everyone, and he also separates himself from them. And that which someone wants, he brings to him, in order that he might become perfect and holy. And when the ... he grasped him, having bound him upon ... and he was filled with wisdom. He bore witness to the truth ... the power, and he went into imperishability, the place whence he came forth, having left the world, which has the appearance of the night, and those that whirl the stars in it. This, therefore, is the true testimony. When man comes to know himself and God, who is over the truth, he will be saved, and he will crown himself with the crown unfading. Pause. So, they are saying, I'm going to repeat that very last sentence. I won't keep repeating. When a man comes to know himself and God, which is the source, who is over the truth, he will be saved, and he will crown himself with the crown unfading. Okay, continue. John was begotten by the world through a woman, John the Baptist, and his mom's name was Elizabeth. And Jesus was begotten by the world through a virgin, Mary. What is the meaning of this mystery? John was begotten by means of a womb worn with age. But Jesus passed through a virgin's womb. When she had conceived, she gave birth to the Savior. Furthermore, she was found to be a virgin again. Why, then, do you err and not seek after these mysteries, which were prefigured for our sake? It is written in the law concerning this, when God gave a command to Adam, from every tree you may eat, but from the tree which is in the midst of paradise do not eat, for on the day that you eat from it you will surely die. But the serpent was wiser than all the animals that were in paradise, and he persuaded Eve, saying, on the day when you eat from the tree which is in the midst of paradise, the eyes of your mind will be open. And Eve obeyed, and she stretched forth her hand. She took from the tree and ate. And she also gave her husband with her. And immediately they knew that they were naked. And they took fig leaves and put them on as girdles. So pause. It just referred to the serpent being wiser than all the animals, right? Think about that for a minute. Once their eyes were opened, I know we were all told to believe that they thought they were naked because they were suddenly ashamed. But no, it's because they suddenly realized they're not primitive animals. I mean, we're all animals, but you know what I mean? They're not primitive anymore. Get it? Okay. I know. That's really what, like, blew my mind up. Like, that's really what got, like, the gears cranking and what really persuaded me to really look into some of these Gnostic texts. But anyways, okay. But God came at the time of evening, walking in the midst of paradise. When Adam saw him, he hid himself. And God said, Adam, where are you? Adam answered, I have come under the fig tree. And at the very moment, God knew that he had eaten from the tree of which he had commanded him, do not eat of it. And he said to him, who is it who has instructed you? And Adam answered, the woman whom you've given me. And the woman said, it is the serpent who instructed me. And he, God, cursed the serpent and called him devil. And he said, behold, Adam has become like one of us, knowing evil and good. Then he said, let us cast him out of paradise, lest he take from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So pause. There's two trees. There was the tree of knowledge, and now they speak of the tree of life. So there are, in fact, two trees. Okay. It just says it right here. Okay. But what sort is this God? For he maliciously refused Adam from eating of the tree of knowledge. And secondly, he said, Adam, where are you? God does not have foreknowledge? Would he not know from the beginning and afterwards, he said? Let us cast him out of this place, lest he eat of the tree of life and live forever. Surely he has shown himself to be a malicious grudger. And what kind of God is this? Here it is, guys. Here it is. For great is the blindness of those who read, and they did not know him. And he said, I am the jealous God. I will bring the sins of the fathers upon the children until thee and 4 generations. And he said, I will make their heart thick, and I will cause their mind to become blind, and that they might not know nor comprehend the things that are said. But these things he has said to those who believe in him and serve him. Pause. Oh my gosh. Anybody out there who knows how to get a hold of any of these people like Elena Danan and Dr. Michael Salla, tell them about the testimony of truth. Because they're literally calling they're calling Yahweh out right here in the gospel. What is this? The gospel? No, sorry, testimony of truth. That gospel of truth is another book. Wait, which one is this one? Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying the right one. Testimony of truth. This is the testimony of truth, not the gospel of truth. The testimony of truth. Because the gospel of truth is another Gnostic book. But like, wow. Okay, and I'm going to have to come back at another time, I guess, and finish reading it. I know, right? But like, yeah, I'll read this one next paragraph. And then I'm going to come back for a part 2. Okay. And in one place, Moses writes, he made the devil a serpent for those whom he has in his... Wait. Moses writes, he made the devil a serpent for those whom he has in his generation. For them whom he has in his generation. Okay. Also, in the book, which is called Exodus, it is written thus, he contended against the magicians when the place was full of serpents, according to their wickedness. And the rod, which was in the hand of Moses, became a serpent, and it swallowed the serpents of the magician. Again, it is written in Numbers 21:9. He made a serpent of bronze and hung it upon a pole. ... One line irrecoverable. Which ... For the one who will gaze upon this bronze serpent, none will destroy him, and the one who will believe in this bronze serpent will be saved. For this is Christ. Those who believed in him have received life. Those who did not believe will die. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, but yeah. We like, they're literally calling out the Old Testament, the law of Moses. Okay, testimony of truth. That's what this text is called. Someone reach out to, yeah, so if anyone knows how to, reach out to anybody, because someone who has a lot more pull, or, not pull, but like, what's the word? A bigger audience to give them the testimony of truth in the disclosure place, because like, this is like literally like, I mean, you know, and I think about something. Didn't they burn the Library of Alexandria, like, how, it wasn't that long after all of this was written, maybe 100 years or so later, the Library of Alexandria was burnt. And among these texts were found also in Egypt at the Nag Hammadi Library, among other texts that were hidden. And one of them was actually the Gospel of the Egyptians. So it almost sounds like early Christians and Egyptians were like working together, or had shared some beliefs. But I mean, they eventually destroyed it. And like, and I know I keep referring back to this Willie Lynch letter, but if you want to make slaves, the easiest way to do that is to separate people from their past. And you can do that just in like a generation or two. You know what I mean? Like, and then that's it. That's all it takes to separate someone from their history, from their ancestors, from their past. And when we really think about it, I mean, there's only very few people these days who actually know their family's history. Only a very few people. But anyways, thanks for listening, guys.